This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MGM Marbella. We're in Hammersmith here for the George Groves public workout ahead of the Rebresh fight this Saturday. With me, I've got the other half of the Sauerland, NISSE SAULERLAND. We don't always see you about.
No, I like to stay in the background a little bit. Let my brother do the most of the talking. Yeah, no, I'm here today to support George, obviously, in his public workout. I'm very excited for Saturday. It's going to be a great show, our first promotion in the UK. So you know, we're hopeful.
You announced a show quite a while ago now for Wembley this Saturday. Didn't have a broadcast then, didn't have an undercard then. That kind of come together about a month ago now. Was there any problems in getting those two things together?
Oh, well, you know, when you're coming into a new market, there's always, you know, a few teething issues, but we've got there in the end. We've got a good undercard, Luke Campbell, Cal Yafai, you know, and Ricky Boylan as well, and a few other names. It's a good undercard, and you know, we've got a great broadcaster as well, so it's worked out okay.
It certainly has. Obviously, it's been a difficult few months for George himself, obviously suffering a second successive defeat to Carl Froch, and you know, this is kind of obviously been billed as his comeback and his route to, or another route to the world title. Can you clarify what that route actually is for the WBC? If he wins this fight, does he become mandatory for Dirrell's title?
That's correct, yes. Yeah. He'll become the mandatory challenger.
Because I spoke to Dirrell recently, well, 2 days ago actually in Vegas, and he was, you know, didn't have very nice things to say about the whole situation about George Groves and, you know, what has he done to deserve a shot, etc, etc. And he was adamant that George won't be getting a shot at his WBC title. Yeah, well, we have some paperwork, let's say, to prove that wrong. Oh, okay, yeah, which is what I tried to tell him, but I'm not sure he was quite listening to what I was saying.
Yeah, well, look, he's obviously, you know, it's not the easiest fight to take straight away, you know, and he's probably quite worried to face George, so, you know. But look, we've got to take care of business on Saturday, and that's the main thing. Of
course. How much of Rebresh have you seen, NISSE? Enough to worry George this Saturday?
I mean, look, he's got a nice style. He's got a good jab. Quite an upright fighter. You know, in his last fight, he fought an African-Italian guy, quite a tough guy. He's not bad. He's useful. He's got a nice. It seems like he's got a nice. I'm not sure, but he's got a nice amateur schooling about him. You know, he throws the correct punches. But you know, George has to win. That's the only option for us on Saturday. He's got to do it.
Absolutely. The decision to take the fight to Wembley Arena, we know it's at Wembley Stadium, but was there anything psychologically that George wanted to come back to Wembley as such, even though it's not the stadium, but was there anything in that?
You know, I think people will read into it in that way, but George is pretty strong mentally. Like he said quite openly after the fight, he wanted to fight, you know, the next day. You know, he knew he lost, but he wanted to get back on the horse straight away. It worked out that we wanted to do the fight on September 13th. No, sorry, September 20th. There's so many shows at the moment. September 20th, and that was the only venue that was available on that date. And of course, it's a great venue. It's a great arena, the SSE arena. And if there are any demons, then they'll be gone on Saturday night.
With your, I mean, acquisition of British fighters within the Sauerland promotions, would you look to do something after this, possibly with David Price in Liverpool, like similar to what you're doing here with George?
Yeah, of course, that's the plan with Pricey. You know, unfortunately, he had a hand operation, but he's back in the gym now. He'll be there on Saturday as well. And he's looking to come back in December, so yeah, that's definitely something we'll look to do, and that was always the plan. We wanted to take him off, get him some more rounds under his belt, rebuild him slowly, and you know, I think it's gone well. He's gotten some rounds, you know, and almost as many rounds as he's had in his whole career, so you know, Price will be back very soon.
The week after, obviously, England comes to Germany. Paul Smith versus Arthur Abraham. So again, it's a great opportunity for Paul Smith, and obviously Abraham will come in as favourite because he's at home and the champion.
Yeah, well look, it's a great fight. I know Paul Smith well. He's a very nice guy. You know, he's good for boxing. People like, you know, Paul. And Arthur Abraham will have to be on form for Paul Smith. Paul's learned a lot since his defeats to De Gaulle and George, obviously, and he's you know, he's looking a lot better in his last fights. He's come on well, so it's going to be a tough night for the King.
After Marco Huck's recent victory, his record equaling victory, had Johnny Nelson there, and then obviously a slight story came out of the night. In regards to Johnny saying that, you know, he would come back just to have one fight against Marco Huck. I mean, some people think it's a wind-up, some people still think it's a wind-up, and their sort of, you know, attitude to Johnny. Some people saying leave it alone, Johnny. Other people like, well, you know, go ahead and do it. But realistically, though, is that a possibility? At
you know, I saw Johnny, and he's about 94 kgs at the moment, so he could theoretically get to the weight and quite quickly and be ready. You know. Question is the grueling training that goes into a fight like that. Johnny's kept himself fit. He's a great fighter. You never know. You never know. It could be. I'm sort of up in the air about it at the moment. You know, I don't know what to believe and what not to believe.
But if he was serious,
it's an interesting story.
It's an interesting story indeed. But if he was serious and he actually, you know, had a conversation with you and said, look, let's actually put the wheels in motion to do this, are you and your brother willing to sort of get this on the table and at least start talking about it?
Yeah, of course we are.
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, you know, Johnny's a great fighter, you know. Yeah. To start.
Been out for 9 years, but
yeah, you know.
We'll see. All right, well, Nissa, listen, thanks for talking to iFood TV. I know your brother's a bit of a publicity whore, actually. He's always at these things, so it's good to get you on there.
Yeah, no worries. No, it's always a pleasure.
So enjoy George's workout now anyway.
Well, my brother will be here very soon.
Is he coming here today as well?
No, tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, he's not here yet. Oh, we'll grab a word with him anyway.
Yeah.
All right, listen, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.